say hello to some people that are joining us. Well, first, I'm Michael Losier. I'm a certified emotion code practitioner. I'm live every Saturday with John, and we host what's called the Bro Show. Today's episode number 151. Get out your calculator. It's like over 3 years then we've been doing this live, and we also have a podcast. Almost 100,000 downloads, John. I want to email you the. I know you said, hey, let me know when it's 100,000. Well, we're pretty close to that.
Yeah.
If you want to be notified of the topic, we send it out at 6 o'clock on Friday night. Then you can thought, you know what, I'm going to join the bros tomorrow. I like what they're talking about. Almost every Saturday, we change the subject. We kind of have a couple repeats, but some of them are important to do. We talk about the emotion code and different subjects. You can go to HangoutWithMichael.com/bros, BROS. The link is also up top in the comments on how you can do that. And then you can know the night before what we're talking about. It's kind of fun. So I got a couple free gifts for you today. I'm going to talk about those more during the program. But John, can you let us know who's saying what this morning, please?
Yeah, I'll introduce myself first. My name's John Inverarity, certified emotion code, body code practitioner. And if you're just joining us, say hello, say hi, let us know you're watching. We always love to know who's watching and where you're from. And yeah, we'll get right to it. We're just kind of at the beginning of the show now. We're gonna let people gather in, say their hellos here. Good. See who's watching here. Natasha's here, of course. Hey, Natasha. Hope you had a great week, Natasha. Annette Jensen's here, says yes, yes, yes. Hello. Denmark is here.
Yeah, all of our European friends they must be 9. It's probably around dinner time or something, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So thank you for joining us. And so hey, listen, if you're thinking about one of your friends that's unemployed right now today and has been, or it might be somebody you know that's really confused about their life purpose and they're always trying from job to job and they just can't find that sweet spot. Honestly, today's the show to do that. We're talking a little bit about emotion code, way more about your life purpose and law of attraction, how we're going to help you attract the ideal job or get more or opportunities. And oh my God, you could figure out what your life's purpose is. Well, guess what? I'm going to tell you what it is today because I know. Yeah, I do. I'm going to tell you that shortly. Again, welcome to Natasha and Annette. So welcome back.
Yeah, and you know what great timing for this too, because there's just so much uncertainty in the world. Great time for a lot of people to start fresh and take a new direction with their career, with their life.
It is. Perfect time. Stay at home and learn something, learn a new skill.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, John, last week I was talking about all the turbulence in the world and in the law of attraction, where we call that contrast. And my opening statements last week about you wait until you see the clarity that's going to be birthed from the contrast, and only in a week it's happening. Mm-hmm. Police reform being changed, or this is being changed. And so I know it's an ugly spot right now, but there's going to be so much clarity through this contrast. And you know what clarity feels like? Clarity's not a feeling, but you know what it feels like? Okay, that's there. Now I'm clear. Now I know what I like. So there is a vibration in that as well.
There is.
So you might want to get your pen and paper ready because we're going to be giving you some words today and a couple things. John, a couple more people joined us. Let's welcome them at the top of the hour, and then we're going to start today's show. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Lori Mayo's here from Vegas.
Hey, Lori,
Carol Matthews is here from Summerside, PEI.
Hey, Carol Matthews. She used to live in Victoria, so now she's enjoying another island.
You guys
I think
switched houses.
Yeah, we're on day 17 of 0 COVID-19 cases. No one's in the hospital, and for 17 days. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Safe here, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vancouver Island, our friend Premier is with us. Good morning, bro. So happy to be watching from sunny Parksville. This is one of my favorite topics. So important to know your life's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
What a nice place when you say, where do you live? Parksville. Well, what do you get a picture of? It's and it's beautiful there. I love Parksville. It's on Vancouver Island. That's an island on the west coast of Canada, north of Seattle, if you know where that is. And John and I are here every Saturday. And today we're going to be talking about, my books. So John's going to be listening to me talk about my books, but John's got something that he's going to be helping us with today. So first I want to talk about, I'm just going to show you a couple graphics here. Open up with the first one. Now, some of you might know about my history with law of attraction. I sold 3.5 million copies, 37 languages, interviewed by Oprah Winfrey 4 times, had my own radio show on the Oprah Winfrey Network for a year. Hashtag I know what I'm talking about. I have a free, well, it's not free, it's free for you guys because I'm giving you the link, but I've been selling this 4 or 5 part audio program and how you can deliberately tap into law of attraction for employment opportunities. Now, that might mean your next job. You might want to take the next job and the next job and the next job, or I don't know. Do you know what your ideal job is? Well, in this program, I'm going to teach you 3 things. Step 1 is how to identify your ideal desire. In other words, how can I identify my ideal job or my ideal position or my ideal career? That's the very first step. You need to know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's like ordering a pizza. You don't call them up and say, hey, here's all the things that I don't want on it. So when you say, well, I don't want a job that keeps me at a desk all day, well, that's not clarity. But you can use that piece of information that you don't like to help get clear. Remember last week I said there's clarity through the observation of contrast. I don't want to be at a desk all day. And then, John, you would hear me say, so
what do you want?
Oh, well, I guess I'd like more flexibility where I can move around and do different things. Oh, yeah, that's my ideal job. You know, that's the first step. If you're going to request the law of attraction, which is like vibrational Google, you want to say, okay, I want to tap into law of attraction. Well, the first thing you need to do is place the order. Unfortunately, most people are placing the order by giving attention to what they don't want. And guess what? It shows up and they point at it and say, why do I keep getting this over and over and over and over and over again? It's called your vibrational bubble. It's the boss. You need to understand that. So step number 1, what is my ideal job position or career? Step number 2, I got to give it attention. Why do I got to do that? Well, as you give anything attention, it causes you to put it in your vibrational bubble. Some of you have built your ideal boyfriend, girlfriend, job, career, and then you fold it up in a little piece of paper and tuck it in your sock drawer. Law of attraction isn't looking there. You can only attract it if you give it attention. That's what step number 2 is. First, what do you want? Next, give it attention. And when you give it attention, it causes you to send the matching vibration. And guess what? Law of attraction queued up. John, what is the 2-word job description for law of attraction?
Write this down. Match vibrations.
That's right. Match. Oh, this person sending the vibration of an ideal job. What do I do with it? It being law of attraction that doesn't have a voice. It looks at its job description. It's the easiest one on the planet. It fit on a postage stamp. What do I do with this vibration that this person's sending about their ideal job? I don't know. Check the manual. Captain Obvious, it's only 2 words, match it. Oh, now they're complaining because they don't like long hours. What do I do with that? Match it. Hey, listen, I didn't create the rule, I'm teaching it. And if you're curious and you want to know the vibration that you're sending about attracting that ideal job or the ideal interview or the ideal promotion or boyfriend or girlfriend or customer or client, I can tell you what the vibes are that you're sending right now about that. Take a look and see what you're getting. It's a perfect match. I wonder what the vibes I'm sending about getting an interview. How's that working for you? Sound a little Dr. Phil. How's that working for you? I didn't create the rule. If you're curious and you want to know what the vibration is that you're sending in any area of your life, go to that area, take a look and see what you're getting. It's a perfect match. So back to the formula. This is the free audio. All the tools, all the languaging, all the examples are about unemployment and being employed and other employment opportunities. Then there's step 3. Let's just recap. I placed the order of what I wanted and I gave it attention. Michael's going to teach you how to do that. Now, I don't know why I said that third person, but I'm going to teach you how to do that. And then I'm going to teach you how to allow it. None of you are good at that. Well, I shouldn't say none of you. 99.9 are not good at that. You place the order, but you don't let it in. You got that door shut so tight, nothing could get through. But you ordered it anyway. And then when it doesn't show up, you order it again, order it being law of attraction. You say, I keep giving it attention, energy, and focus. And I said, it's just outside the door. I'm going to teach you how to open the door. I'm going to teach you what's blocking it. It is a free audio series. The link to it is up in the chat. Okay, that was my soliloquy for law of attraction. And by the way, you think, oh, I'm going to turn it on. No, it's on right now. Law of attraction is on right now. And this is your opportunity to learn how to reset your thoughts and words so you can send a different vibe. Because guess what? Law of attraction is eavesdropping right now. And it's responding to the vibration that you're sending about everything and anything. Okay, John, I need a break.
All right.
Who's saying what, please? Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say, if you're watching live, say hello and let us know where you're watching from. I'll read the comments now, and then we're going to go into, part 2 of the training into, your life purpose. And yeah, so stay with us here. So we said hi to Permelia. Marsha Green's here and says, hi guys, Marsha from Montana. Looking forward to today.
Thank you, Marsha. Good morning.
Yeah, Natasha's here. Says she had a great week. Yeah, and it's around 5 p.m. in the UK. Yeah.
Okay, thought so.
Hermelia is saying beaches, trees, beautiful parks in Parksville. Yeah, don't tell too many people. Okay. Cass McCrae's here. Hey, Cass. What do I need to do, know, and have to attract and allow my ideal employment opportunities?
He's almost mocking me, but you know what? I like that. I like that he knows that sentence. Now, I'm going to change couple words in that, Cass, and it's at the very beginning. Instead of what do I need to do, know, and have, I would suggest you could supersize it. I love it the way it is. You can, here's what I'd like you to say. See if it fits, see if it feels good. See if it sounds all right to you. I'm in the process of attracting everything that I need to do, know, or have to allow my ideal employment opportunities. So instead of saying, what do I need? You don't have to ask that. You just say, I'm in the process of attracting everything that I need, and so on. And then people says, well, you're in the process. As soon as you say this, I'm in the process of attracting my ideal next job that allows me to work from home 1 day a week, and it allows me, it's a real commute, and my ideal. So now, as soon as you say I'm in the process of attracting my ideal job, you just gave your ideal job attention. It wasn't inside your vibration until you gave it attention. And now as you're giving attention to your ideal job, it's inside your current vibration. And the only way to attract anything is to have included it inside your vibration. So as soon as you say, hey, I'm in the process of attracting my ideal job, you just gave it a couple seconds of deliberate attention and you got it included. The only way to get it is to include it. Okay.
Hey, how do you like that, Cass McCrae?
Listen, I'm not even sure if that was a question answered in all of that little soliloquy, but I love it.
Yeah. Roger Lex here from Singapore.
Roger Lex from Singapore, long-time watcher.
Samantha Clifton says, hello, good morning, bros.
Hey, Samantha, good morning.
Terrence Tulis from Malaysia. And Christine Schroff. Hey, John and Michael. Christine from the Philippines.
Love that. Southeast Asia is in the house.
Yeah.
And I've been to all of those countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia. Oh, and all I'm getting is images of food, lots of food, dim sums and seafoods and food prepared. Like, in America, well, I'll say in Canada, okay, I'll say in Victoria, when you get tofu, it's the light white, it's the little white squares.
Yeah.
When you go to Malaysia, they don't mess with the white square tofu. Their tofu, they call it bean curd. Oh my God, they are so talented. Probably all the countries that are listening, they're so talented with we cut it in little white blocks. No wonder people don't
rubber.
Very much. Yeah. Anyway, I've got a lot. And my favorite food of every country, of any country, is dosa, which comes from India. And it's like a big cracker that's huge, and it comes to your table, and it's like this big. And I love it's a big giant cone. It's like an ice cream cone, but it's made of lentils. It's very good. Okay, enough about food. Let's carry on.
You'll be back one day, right?
And then we're going to start part 2.
Yeah. Farhan's here. Farhan Dallas here. Good morning from Toronto. Where is the link to the audio? Thank you so much. I think the link would be up in the comments there, up above.
That's right. It's the link to sign up for the course. And then once you're in the course, you'll see all the classes and the workbook. There's a workbook. You know, I use accelerated learning techniques. What are that? They're techniques that help accelerate the learning. I'm going to ask you to look at it and to say it and to write it and to remember it. You cannot not remember everything in the style that I'm teaching it. So up above, sign up. You'll get inside my online school. You'll see all the audios. You'll see the worksheets. And your life will change forever.
Mm-hmm. Just forever.
Yeah, just forever.
But you have to sign up first. That's
right. Okay. Real quick story. You know, I wrote Law of Attraction in 2000, published it in 2003. It's a long time. It's 20 years old now. It was out 3 years before The Secret. And I ran a long career teaching and certifying people about Law of Attraction. As you can see, I can take any subject and show you how to use Law of Attraction and make it more deliberate. Then I wrote my second book here. This was an NLP book. You're always hearing me talk about accelerated learning techniques and how to communicate to the different styles. I wrote that one. And then it was about 10 years later, 2009. No, like 3 years. Yeah, 2009. I started writing this book called Your Life's Purpose. And like all of my books, they were all seminars first. So even though this was a conversation, John, you and I could go to a coffee shop and you would leave with a napkin, with some notes on it, with clarity about what fulfills you. And you would give me a hashtag holy S-balls. Oh my, and you would text me and you say, you know what, bro? I keep reading this list. And you know what, if I had a job that met those needs, I'd be pretty happy. And then here's the test question. Have you ever had a job that didn't have those needs listed? And that person or you would say, I have, and I hated it. So if you hate your job right now or you're not fulfilled because you're not getting your fulfillment needs met. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So it took me about 5 years. And if you were in Singapore and Malaysia, I did seminars. It wasn't called Your Life's Purpose. It was called Fulfillment Needs when I was writing it. And then the publisher said, so what happens when they get their fulfillment needs met? And I said, well, then they live their life's purpose. And they said, well, that's the title of the book. So that's how the book. So if you're in Malaysia, or Hong Kong, Malaysia, or Singapore at one of these seminars, that explains the title change. And the book wasn't published, but I was using it. Mm-hmm. So here's the premise. You know, John, a lot of people, when you ask them what their life purpose is, some of them know. They'll say, well, the purpose of my life is to be a singer or a dancer or a healer or a mechanic or a mother or a nurse or a doctor. So they're telling us the physical thing that they would be doing. And I would challenge that. And I say, well, that's not really your life's purpose, but that career or that job is fulfilling you. So I'm going to make it really easy for everybody because I think it can, and you can disagree with me, hashtag it's okay. But I think I know the purpose in everybody's life. This might be a paradigm shift. John, what's your interpretation of the word paradigm shift? What does that mean to you or when I say that?
Like just a change of a thought pattern that you've had for a long time, like a core belief.
That's like a second. Really? It might even tilt your head a little bit. But here is Michael Losier's interpretation about what I think the purpose of your life is. John, I'm going to show you a target, and this is for our podcast listeners, 97,000 of you, or 97,000 downloads. John, when you see it, the very target, this is the purpose of life. It is to experience what?
To experience joy.
That's right. That's the target, joy. Really? No, mine's to be a dancer. Oh, really? How do you feel when you're dancing? Oh my God, it's the happiest place ever. Oh, really? Oh, well, mine's to be an artist. Oh, how do you feel when you're painting? Oh, it's just the best feeling ever. So what if you had the paradigm shift to say, the purpose in my life is to experience joy? So wouldn't it make sense to create strategies, which are just things to do? Wouldn't it be good to create strategies in your work and your life where you could get your joy met? That sounds a little selfish to me. I'm going to quiz you, John. What's Michael Losier's interpretation of selfish? Selfish equals?
Self-care.
That's right. It's okay to be selfish. Matter of fact, it's your only job. Your job is to care about yourself so much so that you will ping away anything that's not going to serve you in your vibration. And it might mean friends, and it might mean that job. It might mean that client or customer that when you look at their file folder drives you crazy. Hashtag get rid of it. It is your only job is to mind your vibration. And in doing so, you're going to create strategies. Now, John, read the outside ring. What's the first thing that needs to happen?
Identify fulfillment needs.
That's right. What if, now, here's a list of 30 of them. You can download this list and follow along if you're watching this later. The link to this list is up in the comments as well. And I'm also going to tell you step 1. Okay, John? Yeah, so we got a list of 30 fulfillment needs. And in the book, Your Life's Purpose, it's almost like a reality show where you start off with 30. There's 30 of these fulfillment needs. And there's different exercises in the book that cause you to eliminate some of these. So exercise number 1, you might eliminate 5. So, here's the goal. What are your top 4? And then when you know what your top 4 is, then what would you do, John? If you said, boy, these top 4 things fulfill me, and now that you know that, then what?
Then you can create strategies to bring more of that.
That's right.
To life.
Hey, you know what? I get a real charge when I do Facebook Live. Hey, why don't you do it every Saturday for 152 weeks?
No way.
And get your needs met on Saturday morning, Saturday during, and Saturday afternoon. I like doing Facebook Lives and those kind of things, met my needs, so they fulfill all 4 of my needs. That's how selfish I am. I did a Facebook Live every day for 62 days during COVID-19 crisis. A, I'm a nice guy. B, I'm generous. But you know really why? Because I'm selfish enough to do what makes me feel good. I know my top 4 needs, and once I get them met, then once I understand what they are, then I create strategies. John, why don't you read so again, we're giving everybody the list. Why don't you, they don't have to be yours, why don't you just read every 5th or 6th one, just to give people an idea. What do we mean by, what's a fulfillment need? Where did that come from? I made it up. Read it backwards. What's a fulfillment needs? They're needs that fulfill you. John, give me a handful of them, please.
Adventure.
Now, what does that mean? So, you know what? That's what you're doing. I'm going to interpret that.
Okay, adventure. What's adventure?
Yeah, well, adventure is the people that they just need to have that little extra spice. And they like doing adventurous things. It could mean hiking and mountain climbing and going in the woods, or even, I have a friend that loves adventure so much. I know he's not watching. I use it on purpose. I use it on purpose. One time I wanted to go I like when people drive, even if they drive my car, I just like when someone else is driving. So I said, hey, do you want to go for an adventure? Oh my God, he lit up like a Jerry Lewis telethon. He was so excited. He said, yes. I said, let's go to the country. Well, first I live in Victoria, so the country. I said, let's take a drive in the country and go to that garden center. And he said, okay, let's do it. So I manipulated him in a really good way because I was helping get his needs met. But that word just lit him right up. He loves adventure. And guess what? When someone's not getting the adventure need met, then what's happening? It's a B word. They're bored. Couple more, John. Go ahead.
All right. So let's change it up. Maybe the other side of the spectrum. How about security?
Okay. Security is different than safety because that's on the list too. So safety usually has to do with feeling safe around finances in my future. Doesn't mean protection. And security usually means protection. Like security might be really important to them. So, and there's also a glossary of terms in the book to kind of give you some, but your intuition might say, you know what, safety, I don't know. I'm kind of a risk taker. That's not important to me. I'm going to tell you a couple of mine. One of mine is influence. It's on the list. So here's the guide. Am I influencing anybody today? For sure, I'm doing that. Another one of mine is intimacy. And that means with conversation. I remember for years I oh, I hate talking about the weather and cars. And I just hate that. And I didn't know what that meant to me. And what that meant to me is it needs to be an intimate conversation. And intimacy in Michael Losier's world is 3 words: into, me, see. In other words, I want to hear about you, your goals, your dreams, your failures, how I can help with that, how you can improve that. Here's my, so, as soon as the conversation switches from not being about us and you and development, then I'm not interested. So I know that. And if somebody wants to try to have the other conversations, I'm real polite about it too. A couple more, John. Name one of the ones on here that's important to you.
I'd say connection.
Yeah, connection. That's quite common with the kinesthetic person, right? Connection. You need to feel a connection with your clients and your neighbors, and that's important to you, And then when you know that, you make sure that when you have a job like yours, you are definitely connecting with people. I mean, it's when you look at why that job works for you, it's because the job of being a practitioner is because you get to connect with people. Okay, a couple more things. Okay, I'm just going to show a quick look. So again, this list is free. There's 30 of them. The book helps you uncover the top 4. I'm going to show you a quick little graphic in case, and again, this is the perfect time for to get clear about what would fulfill you. So, I think I clicked on the wrong one. No, I didn't. Okay, there we go. So if you've been wanting to buy this book for a while on Amazon, it hasn't been on Amazon for a couple months. They officially have copies of the soft cover now. So I'm promoting to help make the sale. Here's what I'm doing. You buy 2 of these on Amazon, and I have a $97 video course that I did that is a book club, and it walks you through chapter by chapter. And it'd be an awesome, you're going to get that for free if you buy 2 books. You go to the website, it's going to tell you how to do that. But imagine, because I know we've got a lot of coaches and we've got a lot of personal development people watching, and everybody would love some help to understand what their life purpose is. So get a copy for yourself, get a copy for a friend, watch the video, and learn how to walk yourself and other people through the process. What a great tool that is to be able to do that. And again, this little guide, this little model is inside of the book. When you know what fulfills you, then you build strategies around it, and then you experience joy.
Yeah, and you know what? If you know someone like a friend or family member that recently got laid off, you can send this to them, right? And they might be looking for something else, new direction. Maybe they didn't like what they were doing previously, and so this is a great tool for them to find out a new path, right? Like I have a friend here that was working long hours, 12-hour days. He's away from his 3 kids, come home at midnight, just exhausted. He's got a brand new baby, got laid off, right? He was in the restaurant industry. And he said, I don't think I'm going back. Yeah. Right. So he's going to start his own company, he's a chef, and he's going to start his own own company, maybe a food truck, maybe something,
catering. Yeah, there's lots of
brick and mortar catering. Yeah, brilliant. Now he's, on his own. But
it's so interesting.
Yeah.
There's also something that's called a dark restaurant, and I'm going to explain what that is. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I went to Miami to do a conference, and I then under the door, when you're at a hotel, they kind of slip flyers, if they're delivering food. Yeah. So there's one, and it was a Greek restaurant, and I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to leave the hotel. I was comfortable, and I thought, you know what, I want to do it, because sometimes I can travel to a city and never leave the hotel. So I got the menu and I circled stuff and I said, okay, I'm going to have this. And I'm so excited. And then when I called, I said, there's no address on there. And they said, oh, we're not a real restaurant. We are a kitchen. And that concept just blew me away, that it could be a restaurant that doesn't have customers, but they're busy as hell. And now with COVID-19, everyone's like that.
Yeah.
Everyone's finding ways to, and ideally you might want to do this in your own city. I know there's lots of different food delivery sources. You might want to find out which one has the lowest fee for restaurants. And in Victoria, it's DoorDash. At the time, they take 10% from a restaurant, which is a lot of money because they don't have a lot of markup. And then Skip the Dishes, which is a Canadian company, takes over 20% at the time when I checked. So that's a lot of money if you're selling a $10 something and you got to get $2, like there's no money. So in some restaurants in Victoria, they've hired a couple of drivers and pooled together, like real creative restaurateurs, and thinking, we're going to dedicate that. So a shout out to all the restaurateurs. If you are going to order from a local restaurant, just give them a quick call and say, what's the best app to use? And I know some clients don't even think that the restaurants are paying a fee for that, and they are. And sometimes they have to get paid to be listed. It's just, it's a big, a lot of people are crying out right now because those companies are making a lot of money, and they're allowed to do that. And but call your local restaurant and find out how to order food from them. Okay, that was a little sidebar. I don't know if I was answering your question or not, but.
Well, I was talking about my chef buddy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go, your chef buddy. Yeah, I mean, to find out what would fulfill him to do that, that'd be great. Okay, John, let's wrap things up. Can you go take a check and see? I'm seeing Dolane Major is saying good morning. Soka Jib Quips is with us. Michael and John. I know who it is, but I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Yeah. So Samantha Clifton says, that's exactly how my husband and I feel about adventure. Not being able to go out lately has really made us bored and antsy.
Yes. Well, good. So now you know that adventure is part of your makeup. You need to have that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sharon DeRose has joined us. Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon. Welcome.
Now, John, I think you can introduce next week's subject and then give people an idea what we're going to do. And then they can say, I'm coming back next week because that is me. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with a question. So who here has heard of fight or flight? Or fight or flight mode, or that stress response where, you're all fired up, short of breath, easily startled. In the comments, just let us know. We haven't done something like this before, but I really want to do it. And so, that is, that's going to be what we're doing next week, is that fight or flight. And if that's you.
Yeah, come with examples about where that fits in your life. And we're going to be talking about how the emotion code, how unprocessed trapped emotions are the cause of that, and how John and I can help you next week by identifying what the emotion is that's causing your fight or flight, and delete it live on the air. Okay, just a reminder, John is at aliveandpure.com and I'm at michaellosier.com. We both have online calendars. We both have kind of a planner or a menu of the things that we can help you work on. And we'd love to see you back next week with Flight or Flight. John, let's say goodbye to all our friends.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great week.
Okay, thank you. See you later, everybody.